Hi darlings, welcome back. So we're in a very different setting than my usual videos because this video is totally different to my normal fashion video. I did a poll on my Instagram lately, or I did one of those question things on my Instagram, and I asked what you would like to see, and I was expecting you to say the usual kind of like spring trends, how to style X, Y, Z. And there was a lot of that, but there was also a lot of people asking for a Q&A video. So I guess you want to know a little bit more about me. Someone actually said you should do a video spilling tea on yourself. And I was like, why would I spill tea on myself? I don't want to ruin my clothes. But then I realized that that is like the lingo for doing a Q&A or like assumptions and just talking about yourself, about things that maybe people thought were true about you and aren't true, or yeah, just spilling tea about myself. Where did that expression come from? I'm not very down with the kids when it comes to this kind of thing. But anyway, I have had a lot of caffeine, so this should be really fun and quick, hopefully. I've got my phone here. I did a questions box on Instagram and I did an assumptions box on Instagram. So I'm going to be splitting this video into Q&A and assumptions. I'm really interested to see what you guys have been asking. I've not looked through any of the questions or assumptions yet. I won't be able to do all of them because in the space of an hour, there's a lot of questions and a lot of assumptions. So I'm just kind of gonna get a vibe of what a lot of people are asking and go from there. So without further ado, my not first ever, I think I did one a few years ago, my new Q&A. Okay, right, okay, I knew this would come up. It'd be great if you talk about your wedding plans. I think it's so interesting for many of us to know where you're at. All right, so wedding plans. Charlie and I, from the second we got engaged, we always said that we wanted to get married in 2020, and we didn't want to be one of these couples that had a short engagement. I have no problem with couples that do have a short engagement, but having spoken to a lot of friends that got married for their like feedback and tips, everyone says, I don't know why we rushed, I don't know why we did it so quickly. And I don't like rushing. I get stressed thinking about how much planning there is for a wedding. It's ginormous. And we just weren't ready to plan anything in 2018. So this year, 2019, is the year of wedding planning. We have a trip coming up soon where we will be looking at potential venues. So yes, we are getting married abroad, hopefully, if we find the right place. So there's going to be a lot more wedding content coming soon. Don't worry, I've not been not filling you guys in on anything. It's just that there has been nothing to tell you yet. But of course, keep an eye on the Be My Bride channel if you would like wedding content, because Sophie and I are always doing videos on wedding guest outfit ideas, bridesmaid ideas, wedding hair tutorials, that kind of thing. So if you're not subscribed to Be My Bride, then please do, and I'll be showing a lot more wedding things of my own wedding on there very shortly, as well as on my blog and YouTube channel as well. So stay tuned, it's coming. Why don't you wear jeans? I do wear jeans occasionally. Normally I wear really comfy trousers like this, my Reese Tyne trousers, which followers of my fashion videos will know I bang on about them so much because they're so comfy. I find jeans just quite plain, and I'm really feminine with my style, and I find that when I wear jeans I feel really edgy, like I feel like I belong in Shoreditch, and I put sunglasses on and I pretend to be someone I'm not. I think jeans are a real classic style, but classic for certain types of style, and that's just not my style. Your real age. I don't lie about my age, guys. I'm 27 at the moment. I actually had to check it with a friend the other day. Had to type in my date of birth, which is November 1991, into an age calculator, because I was like, am I 27 or am I 28? I don't know. My friends always tease me, but I can never remember my own age. But because of that conversation I had the other day, I can confirm that I'm 28. Did you go to uni? If so, what did you study? I think I answered this in depth in my previous Q&A. I went to the London College of Fashion. I studied fashion management and I loved it. I would highly recommend it. I actually started studying English at Royal Holloway when I just finished school, and very quickly decided it wasn't for me. I always knew I wanted to work in fashion, but fashion journalism. So I thought that English literature would be the best degree for me, but when it was studying Shakespeare and Chaucer, just felt so wrong and I had no passion for it, so I quit that course despite the fact that I had a full scholarship, so my entire degree would have been paid for because I worked really hard in my A-levels, so my entire degree would have been paid for with that scholarship. But I handed in my uni notice took a year out, did a bit of traveling, set up a few like mini entrepreneurial businesses during that year out, including a jewelry company and a spray tanning company. And then I went to London College of Fashion, 3 years there studying fashion management. I did my dissertation on retail psychology, so kind of the things that retailers lead us to believe when we're buying, tricks to make people buy more, things like that, and the psychology between designer goods and high street goods. Really fascinating. I'm obsessed with the way we think when we buy, and I think that translates into my job now. But yeah, I got a first when I graduated with a BA honours degree from London College of Fashion. Ooh, someone said, how do you incorporate The Secret in your day-to-day life? I could talk about this for an entire video. A lot of my close friends and a lot of you guys know that I'm a big believer in The Secret, the law of attraction, and what you put out to the universe you get back. That's why you'll never see me bitching, you'll never see me sending negative messages to anyone online, you'll never see me doing really nasty things, because I believe that what you give comes back to you. It's a big circle of life. I believe in karma, and I believe that if you put positive things out to the world, then positive things come back to you. I practice The Secret, whether I know it or not, consciously every single day. For big things, you guys may have followed my journey. I used it really precisely for 100,000 subscribers and 250,000 subscribers. I'll leave the videos where I spoke about how I did that link down below, because it's a long story, but I basically decided the day I was going to hit 100,000 subscribers, and I decided that back when I had 40,000, and I did the same for 250,000. I even said to friends, I was like, oh, Jess, put in your diary Josie 250 on March 15th, and this was back in like December, and I hit 250,000 subscribers on March 15th, and people were messaging me like, what the? So yeah, I use it a lot on a day-to-day basis. I use it with things like, oh, I'm not going to email that person that I'm going to be late, because I'm not going to be late. And then all the traffic lights will be green, all the tubes will line up, and I'll get to places on time, because I just have this positive mindset. But yeah, I could talk about it a lot. If you'd like a video on The Secret and positive thinking, that kind of thing, let me know, because I have The Secret to thank for pretty much everything. Someone's asked me what is my non-realistic dream job, and this changes quite frequently, but having said non-realistic in this question, I'd have to say probably working for MI5, because I would love to know what really goes on. I'm really interested in conspiracy theories, and I think that we don't know the half of what's going on. I think that aliens exist. I think that we are not even the first like civilization. I think that maybe in the ancient Egyptian times there was a whole civilization then that got wiped out, and they were probably more advanced than we were. They probably look at our like WhatsApp and Instagram and they're like, God, they're so basic. But yeah, I think that basically there's a lot that goes on that we don't know about and that is covered from the news. I think the news is really controlled. So basically, I'm digressing, but I would love to work in a secret service or an MI5 type level job and know all of these state secrets. I'm sure there's not one job that knows all of them. Obviously, like the JFK assassination, Princess Diana's assassination is not going to be the same person who knows whether the moon landing was real and things like that. But I'd love to be in a high level intelligence job and know the truth behind so many conspiracy theories, because it's fascinating. And by the way, if you are also interested in conspiracy theories and you're not thinking, oh my God, I'm following a crazy YouTuber, then definitely listen to the Mile Higher podcast, because it will open your mind, or as they say, it'll make you more woke. So funny, I love it. Have you been to Singapore? You should come to our beautiful sunny island. I have been to Singapore. I'd love to go again, actually. I'd like to go again now that I'm an adult. I think I was 4 last time I went, but we went with my mum, my dad, and my 2 family friends, or our 2 family friends, for a long time ago. I think we went for the Formula 1 or something, and then we went to a beautiful island called Tioman in the South China Sea after that, and it was an amazing trip. And yeah, I'd love to go back. There are loads of places around Singapore that I'd really like to visit again. Do you have anything blue in your wardrobe? Yes, I have that Kate Spade dress which has the blue flowers on it, and probably some jeans. What has been your longest social media break, and how often do you crave a social switch off? I don't normally have like official switch off times. Well, in the evenings. So the reason Charlie and I are getting an office is so that we can stop working from home so much, because we want to be able to switch off in the evenings. It's not like if you have an office job, once you leave the office you stop working, because our home at the moment is either our sofa or the dining table. So hopefully when we have an office we will be able to switch off a bit more. When we go abroad, a lot of the times they are work trips, but we do give ourselves like an allotted amount of time to be working. But I would say my longest ever social media switch off is always over the Christmas period. I think Christmas 2018, I probably didn't open my laptop for 10 days straight, and it was amazing. How do you stay so slim when you eat the way you do? See, this is another thing that I think is the secret. If you say to yourself, I can eat whatever I want and I won't get fat, then that's what will happen. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the only reason, but that is an example of where you should have a positive mindset. I eat a lot of really rubbish food, like mac and cheese, burgers, sweets. I eat a lot of rubbish, but I work out a lot and I try to be quite balanced. So if I have a mac and cheese one evening, then I will eat, I don't know, something not as fatty as that for my next day's lunch. Do you have any tips on how to become more confident vlogging in public? No, because it's so scary and I'm still not very good at it. My best tip actually would be to have someone with you, someone who's really supportive of you vlogging, because it's so much less awkward when you are with someone else. If they're a vlogger too, then amazing, but even if I'm just with Charlie, that is so much better than just walking down the street vlogging by yourself. How do you get the perfect flat lay picture? A really good background, I would definitely recommend marble, beautiful props and amazing lighting. Natural daylight, you can't beat it, and good editing. Fashion Mumblr presets. Are you an only child? No, I have an older brother called Jamie. He is 40, so he's my half brother. He's 13 years older than me and he lives in Gloucester. He's married and he has 4 children. What would you do if influencer work was to stop? That is an interesting question, and I get that question quite a lot from the older generation, people that I know, like my mum's friends and people like that. People are often like, what would you do if it ends? Firstly, I don't think it will end. I think that the media landscape has changed so much over the past 2 years even, and brands are really recognizing the power that influencers have. By the way, I do hate the word influencer, but that's what this person has said. I think that brands are taking their budgets away from typical magazine advertising and from like TV advertising because they know that it doesn't work, whereas advertising with influencers is instantly trackable. When I work with a brand, like the next day I can send them stats and show them sales figures and view figures and engagement and things like that. So the fact that it works and the fact that it's so trackable, I think that influencer marketing isn't going to go away anywhere. The real dangers are if YouTube were to like switch off, or if Instagram was to suddenly stop working. Like a couple of weeks ago, Instagram had a blip where loads of people, myself included, lost a load of followers, and I think that they came back, but I think that that just really highlighted to a lot of people that with YouTube and Instagram especially, you don't own it, you don't have control over it. Like some guy that owns Instagram can just switch it off one day, and what you gonna do? But I think that if you have a really engaged audience, then they will hopefully follow you as and when a new platform comes up, and they will grow with you. So yeah, I think as long as you're evolving and you're bringing your audience along with you, I don't think this influencer world is gonna go away anywhere anytime soon. Are you thinking of leaving London? Yes is the short answer and the long answer. I would love to move to a house in the countryside in 2 or 3 years time. I'd like to have more space. Obviously, if and when Charlie and I start a family, it would be nice to do that outside of London. I grew up in the countryside and I would like my children to do the same. But the main thing really is space and lifestyle. I've lived in London for nearly 10 years now, I think, and it's great for my job, it's great for socializing, but I am definitely ready to leave, and I know Charlie feels the same. So hopefully in maybe 3 or 4 years we will move to a really lovely big old farmhouse Georgian mansion, she says optimistically, somewhere where we can get a lot more for our money than here in London. Oh my god, there are so many questions. What's your favorite spring trend for this year? I'd say the pink pressed rose trend, because yes. what filters do you use in your photos? So I actually make my own presets, and they're basically like a filter, but you use Lightroom, whether it's the free app or your computer software, to apply a Lightroom preset onto your photo. And I make and sell my own presets, so if you guys want to edit your photos in the same way as me, then I'll leave them linked down below. I'll give you an example of a photo that's unedited here, and then with my Valencia preset, which is literally one click, which you can do on your phone for free or on your computer, this is what it looks like when it's edited. So yeah, that's how I edit all my photos and sometimes my videos as well, so I'll leave the link to my presets down below. How do you stay motivated to work out? I would say I have Charlie to thank a lot for that. Charlie drags me to the gym. He also pays very kindly for our personal trainer, so if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't go to the gym. I would say classes and a PT are the two most important things. I'm not the kind of person that enjoys working out by myself. I need motivation, so if you're struggling for motivation, then buy yourself ClassPass. I'll leave a link to a month's free membership down below, not sponsored obviously, but yeah, ClassPass I'm really enjoying at the moment, and you have these credits which you can use up each month, so that is encouraging me to try new workouts. I went to a spin class the other day at a place called Dog House, and you can like bring your dogs, not while you're spinning, but your dogs can just chill in reception while you do your workout, and they had really old school 90s music like Sugar Babes and Girls Aloud and Five, and so that was really fun, and that was quite a fun sociable experience. So making it a little bit different is another great tip. Oh my god, there are so many. I could literally do an Instagram live for like 9 hours, but I think I'm going to go to assumptions. I'm just thinking if there are any more. When you were an intern at Mulberry, how did you afford your living? So I interned unpaid at Mulberry for over a year, didn't even get lunch money, but I was also working part-time at Reese, and I also had a job, I don't really know what you would call it, we called it like a promo girl job, and these jobs you could get paid like up to 80 to 100 pound a day, so I do that most Saturdays and Sundays. Some of the jobs would include, you know when you see people like giving out free cans of Red Bull on the street, I know it's kind of embarrassing to look back, or one of my favourite jobs was being a dress code assistant at Royal Ascot, so the girls that stand outside the royal enclosure and check that you're dressed properly. Because these jobs don't last all over the year, there are agencies you can sign up to that I mean, you've got to be pretty confident and able to diversify into lots of different job characteristics, but these kind of promo jobs were what kept me going when I was interning. Okay, I could just answer so many more, but let's go to assumptions. Okay, wow, again. The first one, you are an animal whisperer. Dixie, Dixie, Dixie. No, I wish I was, because we've had this rug for 5 days and Dickens has already used the bathroom on it 10 million times. Okay. Assumptions. Right, okay. You have a degree. Yes. Not an assumption, but if you were to buy one pair of designer summer shoes, what would it be? The Valentino sandals. I will leave them linked down below. I always assume your feet must be sore from wearing heels all the time. How do you do it? I think I'm genuinely more comfortable wearing heels than I am wearing flat shoes. I think my Achilles tendon is maybe shrinking a little bit, but I would say practice and the right heels. Chunky heels and shoes that support your ankle generally are the best. Next assumption, oh my gosh, quite a few people have said this. You come from a rich family. I'd love to know where this assumption comes from. Okay, so I think this is a really hard question to answer, because what is rich to some people might not be rich to other people. If you take, for example, the fact that I went to a private school and I was able to have a car, I don't know what are the benchmarks. My family, in my eyes, was normal. The most important thing for me was that I grew up in a very loving family. My mum and dad were always very supportive, so that matters far more than any money. But I went to a private school, a school that you have to pay to go to. It's an all-girls school, so some people might look at that and be like, tick for the rich box. My dad started his own business from scratch. He had a local shop and then built what I would call a vehicle empire from this shop. He was like the ultimate entrepreneur, and my mum worked really hard as a teacher for children with special needs. She also ran a B&B from home, and she taught Spanish to children in the evenings. Even now she's always just doing things. So both my mum and dad were incredibly hardworking, and we were able to enjoy the rewards from that. So we went on lovely holidays, we lived in a nice house, and I went to a good school, but that was the result of my parents' unwavering hard work as opposed to being rich. I think that when someone's like, oh, you're rich, I think that has the implication that no hard work is involved. It's the complete opposite for me and my family. I've always grown up seeing the benefits of hard work, and I think that's why I am so almost ridiculously hardworking now. I don't really switch off. That's probably my biggest personality flaw. I'm always working, but I think because I've grown up seeing the results of hard work, it's made me really hardworking. Someone else has said, you don't speak much about your dad or your siblings. Are you an only child? My dad passed away when I was 13. I don't know if I've spoken about that before. I don't know why I would have done, but yeah, it's just been me and my mum since I was 13. So that's why I don't speak about my dad. Not something that I don't want to talk about, but it's, yeah. Are you an only child? I think I mentioned that earlier. No, I've got an older brother. Another assumption is you live near Brixton and are scared to walk around when it's dark. Ooh, you are a good detective, because I do live near Brixton and I try where possible not to walk around when it's dark. I have been finding that I've been driving a lot more lately. I tend not to get the tube to Brixton in the evenings. Just, you can never be too safe. I tend to Uber at home when it's really late at night. An assumption, you make a lot of money. Again, another money related question. I think money related questions are really hard because what do you compare it to? Do I make a lot of money compared to a stockbroker or an investment banker? No, but do I make a lot of money compared to when I was just starting out with a fashion job? Yes. I think that there's a lot of curiosity and mystery around how much money YouTubers make, and I don't know why. I think maybe it's because there's not like job starting roles and you can't see it advertised like, oh, starting annual salary is £20,000. That information is not readily available. But I am definitely, just being totally honest with you, earning a lot more money than when I had a 9-to-5 job. But yeah, compared to adults that have been working in a career all their life, I'm probably not making a lot of money. So yeah, it's really comparable. Okay, another assumption. This is sweet. You're a really kind person and you have really good values, but sometimes you act too formal. That's interesting. I think maybe that comes from my resting bitch face. I think I probably look like I'm being very formal sometimes, but actually I'm just a bit of a plonker. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm particularly formal. That you are a high maintenance person. Actually, I'm really not. I think I can get ready for the gym after getting out of bed in like 5 minutes. I'm very happy to go like camping. I climbed Kilimanjaro when I was 18 years old and wore no makeup for a month, did like charity work in Tanzania, and that was a really rough and ready trip and I had no problem with that. I could quite happily give up like makeup and hair straighteners and stuff. So yeah, I think I've maybe make myself look glamorous, but I wouldn't say I'm particularly high maintenance. Okay, another assumption, someone said, you work hard. I'm 100% certain that's true. It's really funny that you guys pick up on that. I would say that I'm a really hardworking person. I don't really procrastinate too much apart from kissing the dogs. And I don't sit at home in my pajamas all day. I really do work my butt off, and it's really funny because I think when I'm like at blogging events and stuff, I hear people saying that I've got a bit of a reputation in the blogging industry for being a really hardworking person. So that's really interesting that you guys picked up on that, and I'm proud to be hardworking because, like I said earlier, I think you get out what you put in and you never regret working hard. So another assumption, you can speak other languages. Sí, un poquito de español. My mum was actually lived in Spain for nearly 20 years and she taught me Spanish, so after a glass of wine or maybe a week or so in Spain, I do pick it up again really easily. But French, German, I tend to know conversational, but I would just about be able to get by. I'm really good at accents and very basic bits of most languages. Not most, a few languages. So I think it probably looks like I can speak a lot of languages because in the vlog I might be like, ah, bonjour, je suis blah blah blah. Or, you know, yeah, a little bit of French and German, but fairly good Spanish. Sorry if the camera angle has changed positions. I just had a certain somebody charging into the tripod. Okay, back to assumptions. Someone has literally just put buying followers. Okay, firstly, that is a very serious allegation, and I don't think that that should ever be presumed about any blogger. Obviously, I have never bought followers or used a bot or anything along those lines, but I think that if you're gonna assume that about someone, you need to like research and not assume that about someone, because it is a very serious assumption and allegation. So think before you jump to conclusions like that, because no, I don't see the point in buying followers. Like, the whole point is to influence and engage with a real audience. You're not doing that if your followers aren't real, so why would, no. Oh, my angel. I had a lot of messages that you guys missed seeing my puppies on my videos, so hopefully you enjoy this little Dicky moment, although I am gonna put him back down because I will get too distracted if he stays in my video. You spend a lot of money on improving your channel, i.e. on a photographer, hotels, etc. I do. I think a lot of people don't think about this side of the content creation. Obviously, a lot of the content that you guys see I can make at home. I've just stuck my vlogging camera on a tripod and I'm just chatting away. This video is not costing me very much to produce at all, but I will pay for hotel rooms. I obviously pay for a photographer, a videographer, and they are possibly a little bit more expensive than you might think they are. So yeah, there are a lot of outgoings, but not like there are in a typical job. Someone said, not really an assumption, but you're very nice. Not many bloggers are as nice as you. That is very kind, thank you. That you're happy all the time. I'd say I'm happy like 70% of the time. I do have my off days as well. You have the perfect life. A few people have actually said that. Remember that you only see what bloggers put out there for you to see. There are always bad days. Charlie and I have arguments. I get sad sometimes. I have off days. So you only see, I would say, about a 10th of my life, so don't ever presume someone's life is perfect. That would be my tip for the people that have written that. I assume that you're moving to Chiswick due to a recent story post. No, we're not moving to Chiswick. We are investing in a second property in London, and it is in Chiswick, and it's going to be our office. So yeah, that's really exciting for us. You are a workaholic. Yes. You work so hard. Yes. You don't like cheap things. I do like cheap things. I'm just not as good at finding really good things from the cheaper retailers, and I'm trying to move away from fast fashion. Someone said an assumption is that you return 90% of what you buy and show viewers in haul videos. My response to this would be that I shop exactly how you guys shop. So when I buy stuff for a haul video, I never buy like tactically and not like, oh, I'll show them all of this stuff, then I'll return it. I shop exactly the same as you. So if I do a Zara order and I try on all the stuff at home and I show it to you guys, and if I don't like something, I'll send it back. If I love it, then I'll keep it. So I would say 90% is pretty high. I don't know if that's like the national average, but I would say I probably keep 40%, I would say, is my average. People don't give you enough credit for your style because elegant doesn't mean old-fashioned. Oh, that's really sweet, thank you. My audience is actually quite a mature audience compared to a usual YouTube audience. So I think that that's possibly because of my very kindly worded elegant style. So yeah. Charlie's put one, that you're a geek. Yes, I'm such a nerd, honestly. I'm really uncool. I don't know if that comes across in my videos. Probably does, but I am actually a huge geek. I don't have any assumptions. You seem to be so loving, kind and real to me. Hashtag favorite blogger. Thank you. That is really, really sweet. Someone said you are too funny, but you hide it on YouTube. I try not to hide my personality on YouTube. Sometimes I feel like I come across like a bit of a, you know, more held back on YouTube than I am in real life. I'd say, I don't know, I don't like filter myself. I think maybe in my fashion videos, because I'm so like on a roll talking about fashion, maybe I can't show my personality as much. But I think in vlogs, like, I do show myself being just a bit of an idiot. Like, honestly, watch the video in Mumblr when Freddie and I are like dancing and ice skating. Like, that's what I'm like all the time. I'm just really silly a lot of the time. So yeah, you live the best life ever. Again, don't make these assumptions. Like, I'm very grateful for the life that I have, but I wouldn't say it's the best life ever. You have too many clothes. Some of them you've probably worn once or twice. I do have too many clothes, and that is the result, I guess, of what I do for a living. But the clothes that I have in my wardrobe, I wear them a lot. I sometimes get changed 2 or 3 times a day. But yeah, I do get a lot of wear out of my clothes. I don't like saving things for best. I've got like beautiful white suede shoes that some people would be like, oh my god, I'm never going to wear them, they're too perfect. But I really do wear my lovely clothes. Do you ever have bad or rubbish days where you feel argumentative with Charlie? Yes, 100%. We're a normal couple. We both work really hard. We both get stressed sometimes, so naturally we have arguments. But my top tip would be to never go asleep when you are arguing with someone. Like, never go to sleep on an argument. Always try and resolve it before you go to bed. Someone said an assumption: you are under extreme pressure to keep up with other YouTubers when it comes to numbers. I would say the short answer to this is no, I don't feel pressure when it comes to numbers. I think that sometimes in the YouTuber world, you do often feel like a giant number over your head, and you know, sometimes you see events where it's clearly only people with 1 million followers have been invited to, and things like that. But I really don't think it's so much about numbers so much anymore. I think that brands are so much more interested in a YouTuber that has an engaged audience, and other YouTubers out there, they're more interested in you as a person than your number. So no, I wouldn't say that I feel extreme pressure to keep up with other YouTubers, and I try not to compare myself to anyone else anyway. I try to just kind of stay in my own bubble. When I'm happiest, it's when I'm totally ignoring what other people are doing. So yeah, I would say that that assumption is not correct. You're one of the most supportive girl bosses in the industry. That is a very kind assumption, thank you. And I like to think, yes, I do like to support other people, because as I said, what goes around comes around. Blowing out someone else's candle will never make yours brighter. Is that the expression? So yeah, I never want to bring anyone else down. I like to lift people up and spread positive vibes. Oh my gosh, there are so many more, but actually my battery is flashing. So I think I'm going to end this video here, but I'll probably do another one of these soon, because there are so many questions, so many burning questions there that I haven't answered. But before my battery dies, I'm going to wrap it up and say thank you so much for watching. I hope I got to your question, and I hope you've learnt something new about me. This has been quite intense, but really interesting and fun to do. So thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end, leave the word puppies in your comment, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.
One scapegoat. I just tried to fit in. You've got to beg just to get in.